Namaste, angels. This is going to be the weekly love reading for the period of Sunday, December 17th through Saturday, December 23rd. There's a couple of things going on this week. On the 18th, there is the new moon. I think for some people, it's the 17th. And I know for me, well, we already have a Sagittarius moon today. It's not the new moon, but we've already entered that energy. It's in my 7th house of love today. So I'm already feeling that. Some of you may be, and I think for some of you, depending on what hemisphere you are, you may get the actual new moon tomorrow. And others, because today's the 16th, the day on which I'm doing this, at least in my time zone, Eastern time zone, the United States. And the 18th is otherwise the first official day here. What else? The 19th is the first day of the 10th month of the ecclesiastical Hebrew year or Jewish year, Tevet, T-E-V-E-T. And I guess the largest part of that is the fact that Hanukkah falls within the month, and the war that was going on at the time. I spoke about Judith. I told a story about Judith, like one of the first heroines, or heroine of Hanukkah, one of the first leaders as a divine feminine. And I think that was like 3 weeks ago, if anybody wants to see it in the general weekly reading where I tend to talk about these things. What else? Yeah, so that's a big one, really, the good over evil, because I think that falls in, it plays into everything else that's going on with the new moon, with the full moon that passed, the Gemini full moon. That was about getting rid of what we don't want to take into the new year, as far as I'm concerned. And we still have time to do that. It was about like deciding once and for all, if you didn't actually take the action, what baggage you're going to drop and not carry with you into the new year. And I think that the new moon is about actually beginning to, pick up that new baggage, or at least like plan to have it so that you can manifest it as you enter the new year. New beginnings, new year, new you, all that kind of stuff. So good over evil plays, and light over dark plays a huge part in that, because it's in some ways, and at least for some of us, our own good over evil, like it's an inner and very individual and personal triumph of leaving our demons behind and really pursuing what's in our hearts and, what we know to be right and just and best and true for us. And I think that's what this week is going to be about, in love too. So the 18th, the 19th we did. What else is going on? There's some other things in astrology. Also on the 19th, we have Saturn entering Capricorn. We also have the Sun entering Capricorn. And I had all these fresh in my mind last night. I recorded the general last night, and I was just rattling them off, and now I can't remember. Well, you guys can check out the general. Of course, I go into depth there, but in the beginning, I just give little like bullet points of what's going to be involved, and then later I go into depth. So you guys can check it out there. But I also wanted to give you an idea of some of the things that may affect us. Oh, there's still that Sagittarius energy that may affect us. In addition to the new moon in Sagittarius, we have Venus, Mars is in Scorpio. Venus in Sagittarius for the month. She leaves on the 25th. Okay, it's coming back to me. Mars is in Scorpio, Jupiter in Scorpio, but like very close to Libra right now, Jupiter. This week we have Uranus still in retrograde, Chiron out of retrograde in Pisces, I guess in its shadow. A couple of other planets still in shadow. I believe Pluto is one of them, and Saturn. So a lot of activity in Saturn, a lot of activity in Sagittarius right now. Mercury is retrograde in Saturn, where it's in the shadow, and it leaves its shadow on the 22nd. So during this week's reading. All right, that may be it. So I'm going to go to the dice, beginning with yes. Yes. Buy shoes. And sex. And Spirit says no. So for some of us, the answer is yes. And for some of us, the answer is no. Look at the dice, listen to the dice, listen to your heart, your intuition, and figure out which one is correct for you if you had a yes or no question in mind. Also, weekend away. And eat cake, maybe some holiday parties. I'm going to a holiday party tonight, as a matter of fact. Right after I do this reading, maybe. My CrossFit gym is having a party in the financial district, or what we downtowners call, New Yorkers call Fi-Di, at a nice bar. So I'm gonna go over there and spend some time with some adults for a change. Good looking ones too. I said they go to the CrossFit gym. So these are weightlifters and all that kind of stuff. So it should be fun. And some of you may also be eating cake for Hanukkah, for Christmas, whatever it is you're into, people's birthdays, the last of the Sagittarians, the first of the Capricorns, and happy and merry to all of you who are doing any of that. So I'm going to begin this week, I think, a little out of turn. I'm going to begin with the romance angels and healing family issues. I also think that as a result, has to do with love. This theme is going to continue. We've seen it in our weeklies. We've seen it in the readings that I did through the end of the month for the two archetypes, the masculine karmic reading and the feminine karmic reading that take us through the 31st. There's a lot of energy healing and healing of relationships, beginning with oneself, if that's a necessity. And it seemed to be for many of us. The 9 of Earth kept turning up, and it was an indication that we need to work on the relationship we have with ourselves, whether masculine or feminine, and then with other people. So there was a lot of sorrow and apologies and seeking forgiveness and healing relationships with friends and family members and, you know, romantic partners as well. So I don't think it's weird that I'm beginning with healing family issues. It totally makes sense to me. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So energy healing continues, relationship healing continues, and reconciliation continues. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that before I even lay any cards. How about that? And opening 2, let go of control issues. There's your karmic stuff. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. Healing family issues and calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Calling in your soulmate and codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So there's the karmic stuff. There's the healing that's necessary in order to be able to do this. Calling in soulmate and engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Calling in soulmate. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. Calling in soulmate. I got one more. It's playfulness, just like a Sagittarian. That youthful energy. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. That's going to help you to reconcile. And the Sagittarius moon, I believe, is going to help you to reconcile, again, along with Venus also in Sagittarius, Mercury in Sagittarius, Mars, masculine planet of love, in Scorpio, Jupiter, planet of karma and luck, in Scorpio. So with that love and emotion, that water. Even Saturn, I think, is going to help. Because Saturn, you know, it can be a restrictive energy and a restrictive, that codependent and feeling bound. But I think that with what else is going on, it's going to be like an alert to what is holding us back and to what is making us feel restricted, and the desire to really once and for all before like it's too late, you know, like take a chance on ourselves and free ourselves from these things. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Overall energy is passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. So I'll do my cross spread from the perspective of the masculine first using this deck. The divine feminine. The masculine as it relates to the feminine, or about the feminine, on the feminine, about himself, the union as a whole, overall. What he would have the feminine do to work on things, what he himself is willing to, what the universe would have the two to work on. Feminine. Getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So first, what we have to do, what the masculine, and what our higher self rather would have us do, is to better get to know ourselves, so that we're preparing to get to know one another better. Again, I was just talking about those working on relationships, beginning with the personal one and the one with one's own self. 9 of coins style. That's what this is. The masculine about the feminine. Worth waiting for. How sweet. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So patience required yet again, but we're working on it. About himself. Forgiving and learning. Okay, another thing I was just talking about, that seeking of forgiveness. Expressing sorrow, seeking of forgiveness, beginning with ourselves and then extending it to other people. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. And about the union as a whole, chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. Overall, let go of control issues and allow this situation to unfold naturally. We both need to stop trying to force it and work on those things that we know we need to work on, that the universe has pointed out to us and guided us toward, that we've sort of like let go by the wayside to instead focus on one another in unhealthy ways. We got to stop that. Right? Let go of that and just do what we know we're meant to do right now. What the masculine would have the feminine to do, playfulness, lighten up. Like he's afraid to approach you in some cases. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. You got to like make it more welcoming. He's sorry. He knows he did some negative things, some hurtful things, and that can cause a wall to go up. But in order to try to bring things back together so that, yes, again, we can get to know each other, you got to first work on you, heal you to the extent that it allows you to once again be that lighthearted, inviting person that you can be. What is he himself willing to do? Work on this codependency, cut cords to people, places, and things that have been holding him back. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. So everything that I just said before I started the reading, I told you I was going to go ahead and take a chance, is playing out here in the cards, is already showing. And this is just our first spread and it's not even done yet. This is the masculine working on those karmic issues, the relationships to which he's tied that are negative, whether they're, with friends, a poor relationship with himself, with family, romantic partners, karmic, quote unquote, karmic partners, as they call them. All of that stuff, actual substances and codependency as we think of that, like drugs, all of that stuff is on what any and all of it is on what he is willing to work right now. And what the universe would have the 2 do, and it's sitting right here, right next to the let go of control issues, because this could be the one you've already met the romantic partner you seek. So one of the things with the control issue that you need to stop doing is trying to convince yourself that maybe it's somebody else and that you should be doing something else. And putting your attentions and focus elsewhere. The universe is trying to like rein you back in. Going on to more healing, or at least for me, this card is all about healing, top to bottom. Just full surrender to the universe, allowing it to work with you. I'm going to do the crossbread from the perspective of the universe with these cards, and opening to, very appropriately, divine guidance, since that's what I'm seeking right about now. And with this moon here, it's reminding us, again, that we have to surrender and actually listen to the guidance. And with this sort of giant 8 here, it's reminding us that this guidance is always here. It's always available to us. It is infinite. It is limitless. We can always come and seek it and be healed. Transient. And the mystic, guiding us to pay attention to our intuition and maybe to communicate too. With this star here, very Aquarian-like star, very watery with all this like purple and blue. Aquarius, the water bearer. This would be guiding us to communicate. And that doesn't necessarily mean speak. I mean, there's all different kind of ways to communicate, including telepathically. When I see this card, that's what I think about, just the mystic, but also intuition, paying attention to it. So like communicating with yourself, with your mind, or through your mind is what this is about too. And also toward healing. Communicating with the universe, listening to what it would have you do. Reflection. This guides us to take a look around our present situation. What would I change, if anything? Again, what do I want to take with me into the new year? What do I want to leave behind and never revisit again? I'm about to leave the energy of my thoughts becoming my reality. So I don't want to focus my thoughts on anything negative anymore, because that's not what I want to bring into the energy of 2, which is about faith. All right. So like the prayers starting to have works attached to them. And now faith, I'm putting in the effort, duality, partnership. What do I want to leave behind? But also, what from my past has helped me and have I learned from that I can take some of that stuff with me? What do I definitely never want to revisit about that again? And let's address it now and put it to bed with these last couple of weeks of December. And what would I manifest for myself in the future? On what new do I want? That's what this reflection is about. And the overall energy is the mystic yet again. Divine couple. Recent past. Near future. Masculine's higher self. Blocks to the union. What the feminine can do. Maybe move the camera a little bit. Let's get more of that in frame. What the masculine do. The universe would have the 2 do, or further advice from the universe, and the outcome. Divine couple. Forgiveness. Both ways, starting with yourself, right? Forgiveness begins with us, and then moving on to the next person. And just like let's let all this stuff go. Let's leave the regret and the resentment and the anger and the things for which we're seeking the forgiveness. Let's leave all that behind in 2017. recent past, expectancy. So having a bunch of ideas that didn't really align with the universe because they're of a human nature. They're of a 3D level. And with all due respect to, we humans, we have no idea and are completely unable to conceptualize what the universe can do. So it's best to allow it to work and to not try to tell it how. Because in doing that, we limit it, and therefore we limit ourselves. We block our blessings. That was happening recently. Remember, we're letting that go now. The near future, healing sounds. So this week we're going to continue with the healing, but that's to be expected. That's what we thought. And this has to do with communication too, with the universe, maybe listening to some actual healing sounds. You guys know I love binaural tones. And it fits very well with our overall energy of the mystic. When I picked that up, also upright is miracles underneath it. So we can manifest miracles and changes in our lives through listening to some of these. Sometimes I like to listen to the spin of the planets. They have even that in binaural tones. I'll listen to Jupiter spinning, the planet of luck. I'll listen to Venus spinning, the planet of love, right? The feminine planet of love. I don't even know where I got this from. Oh, here. The masculine's higher self, the guardian. He knows he's no longer, if he ever felt alone, he knows he's not now. And he's actually paying attention to the messages and the guidance, and is really appreciative of it, that he, has someone with, an entity and protection and support with which to walk through some of these very dark times. Because again, we're dealing with this whole good over evil thing, even from within. Blocks to the union. Spiritual growth. The fact that we're each separately, in many cases. I mean, some of us don't want to make it sound like nobody is at all in physical contact or together. That's not the case. But even there's a block, there's a limit to, because I have married couples that are my clients. There's a limit to how together the universe, the union can come. And it certainly doesn't come together in the way the universe would have it come and will have it come. It does not. It has not. For any of us, including those married couples. And that's the block that so it's not a real block. It's not a real block. It's a very temporary thing. And it's a positive one. Where as we're going through some of this healing and some of this growth, awakening, enhancement, ascension, we can come together, but so much. But it's all in preparation so that we can, for real, the way the universe does intend. What can the feminine do in the meantime? She's emerging from the darkness. She is going through this healing. This card is so yellow and so bright. Has all these very healing and therapeutic and divine colors in it. Yellow, purple, red. That I know the darkness is down here from where she came. So she's already risen above that. This is a prime example of good over evil, light over dark. And she continues to rise. And now she's reached the point where she can even access white light. That's how high she's risen. And ready to go through more. Look at her face. She's in full surrender. Her eyes are closed. She's nude. This is let the universe do to me and with me what it will. Because I know it's for my own good. This is this. And that's why, we can't really be together right now. The masculine, very similar, messages from afar. Now, as it relates to the couple, this can be contact too. This can be communication as well. But for the most part, this is this guardian. And look, they're even the same colors, these cards. This is this guardian and other aspects of the universe. And again, the fact that he's paying attention and following the guidance. Boom. Right? There it is. This is the listening. It's this. It's this. It's this. It's this. Listening. And still the possibility to give the card another meaning for the communication with this star here, this more Uranus and Aquarius, and that sort of electronic communication in particular that may come through. And the outcome. Boom. Tantric union. So even if there is no physicality and no physical contact, no physical union, again, we're going to have these very electronic and energetic connections even between couples. 5D life, because I'm going through ascension, you're going through ascension. I can't see you right now. We can't even talk right now, but we have this between us. So you make sure you're using this so that I can get through, or I'll make sure I'm using this so that you can get through, right? Miracles happen. We're gonna work this out. We're gonna get it together one way or another, even if we have to do it telepathically with our minds. True love. Opening to this control in reverse. I like control in reverse. There are no reversals in this deck, so it would really be upright. But I think that when I open to these cards and they're in reverse like this, that it's an indication that of the chains, at least in this card, the cords that are being cut, as I described in the beginning of the reading. Things that have been manipulating true love, preventing true love, controlling it, trying to force it one way or another, are being eliminated. Again, good over evil. Gossip, opposite the true love. Boom. How's that for true love? And then the control in reverse again. And you guys saw me turn it up right too. On this note, I think I will cut. Open relationship. And most often for me in this deck with this card, this open relationship, look, they want to, do you see that? How the cards just fell to reveal this brunette female also in reverse. That's the karmic chick. Also in reverse, because now we can move to this and this open relationship out in the open. Divine unions are already open relationships as we think about it in the 3D sense, because, you know, we have this connection thing going on, but, you know, we're not necessarily committed. Some of us are, again, you know, but even then, again, even in the married couples, there's a divide. And there's a divide, yet there's an unbreakable, you know, connection too that no one can explain. So when this card comes up in relation to us, it tends to speak to me about a relationship that's in the open, as in the couple, not just or necessarily even having a commitment in the 3D, but the couple living their truth out in the open, whatever that means for them. And like no longer worrying about the gossip or what other people may think, or, like self-fulfilling prophecies that are limiting about money and appearance and whatever else. I mean, there's any host of things, that restrictions that we've placed on ourselves and obstacles and things we've placed in front of ourselves, that when this shows up, for me, it's an indication that we're wanting to bring an end to that and live life in the open. The overall energy is this control. And my party just started 6:06. It's from 6 to 11. I, of course, didn't want to be like the first person there. So figured I'd take my time in doing this first. Boom! There's that communication I was talking about. Surrounded by karma, karmic issues. And there's the spiritual growth in his subconscious. So this reaffirmation of our messages. Boom, again, here's the twin flame that we saw just a moment ago. Feminine surrounded by union under twin flame. Boom, yet again. And that's karma too. I mean, it's mirroring karma, because karma isn't bad. That's why when I talk about the quote unquote karmic, I put it in quotes, because that's not what karma means. It doesn't mean, it's not a derogatory term. It just means like of the universe and fated and destined. Beyond our control, that sort of thing. Feminine subconscious, children. Or maybe like first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes us with the baby carriage. With this throw here. Crowning, past life. Also has good and bad connotations. Things connected to karma with this past life. Past life unions that have withstood the test of time and incarnation after incarnation, and they're still together now. Like a few different ways to read that. At the root here, the Ice Queen, which could easily be Venus, or perhaps an air sign for some with this communication too. Uranus, Mercury, Venus, communicate, all that kind of stuff, that energy of snow and ice and winter, swords. And at the heart of the matter, mature man. This is crossing the spiritual growth. This is after I'm not a child anymore. Like I've gone through this metamorphosis and I'm here now. I'm going to clarify a couple of these to see look for additional meanings. Let's go with karma first. I'm just looking for an upright card. Okay. There we go. Wallflower. So this is speaking right now to me with about Saturn and about Capricorn. A lot of times when I pull this card, I said it gives me a feeling of sometimes Gemini, not as much as the other two, Scorpio, Capricorn, and about being like restricted and not engaged and like being at the party but not there. And it reminds me of that song, I Hope You Dance, because you see that there's people dancing here. That song, I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. If you get when you get the chance to, or the choice to sit around or dance, I hope you dance, because this person has chosen to sit around. These other people are dancing. They're engaged. So like sort of letting life pass them by and being restricted. That's connected to the karma. Karmic issues that we're going to get past this week. For some. Let's see what else might be up with the mature man aside from the spiritual growth and that's there. The open relationship. Because of the spiritual growth, because I am a mature man, and, you know, dare I say, suggest even having to do with Mars and connected to Mars, the masculine planet of love, open relationship. Boom. For the twin flame couple dynamic, this divine union that even has union and whatnot on their mind. And we could look at it this way too. Mars and Venus sitting here one atop the other. The masculine planet of love and the feminine planet of love, creating this and this and this. See what's going on with the children. Long distance. Maybe this is about, we've had to do reflection and think about the future. This is like building a family together. Going the distance. Like I just said, first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes the baby carriage ahead of us. And we'll just drop one more. Young male. So for some of us, again, this is perhaps a May-December relationship. Maybe a young male as in age, but you know, mature in spirit and soul. And also, this is, yeah, like a boy becoming a man with crossing the children here, having gone like the distance on his own in his journey, traveled. Now we have the boy becoming the man too. And we have the youth of Sagittarius. And we have the experience of Mars. Mars in Scorpio. With this card that reminds me of Scorpio sitting here. Scorpio's ruling planet, Pluto in Capricorn, is what's happening here. This is all about the growth. Over and over and over again, the same wonderful message. I'm just going to do our advice. So I'll put these back here. Give the masculine the first one, second one to us. Romance angels lastly want to say to us this week, honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together, which can be very literal right now. This can be get together for Hanukkah. This can be enjoy a holiday party like I'm about to do. This can be Christmas, whatever it is you want to celebrate. This can be about the moon too. The new moon in Sagittarius. That's going to spark a whole bunch of positivity and love and reconciliation. You know, that hasn't, if it hasn't reached that point yet, because we're still working out some of these growth issues and healing issues. That's Sagittarius, and with Venus's help, we got the whole family here. Again, look, I'm still seeing stuff. Again, we have Venus, feminine planet of love. She's in Sagittarius. Maybe this is Sagittarius, Cupid, her son. And her masculine counterpart, Mars, masculine planet of love. That's what's leading to this, and this, and this. And this. It's all about that Sagittarius moon, that Venus in Sagittarius, the end of the Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. It's all helping us. Boom. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Heaven on earth. This is the masculine giving up old things, just as he said he would in that other spread, that first spread that I did, that I said was from a masculine perspective. What is he willing to do? Work on that codependency. That's what this heaven on earth card is about. If you want to experience heaven on earth, you got to leave the baggage that's holding you back behind. That's like keeping you in hell. You got to leave that behind and free up a space for something new and wonderful that is going to make you feel as if you're experiencing heaven on earth. It's going to be the most unexplainable, unimaginable, wondrous thing you could ever have possibly dreamed of, except you can't dream of it. That's why you got to let go of your expectations, because they're not vast enough. That's what this card is about. Feminine, sorrow. Well, we knew this was coming, but it's part and parcel with this. In order to get here, the forgiveness and the apologies, the forgiveness, the release of any resentment has to happen. It's all, you can't have one without the other. Not in a real way, not in a healthy way, not in a real healthy way. And lastly, travel. Maybe back, right, toward the reconciliation. I'm traveling back to where I belong. This can be physical travel too, with, again, people celebrating holidays, visiting one another, communication. It's a card of movement. So if something was stagnant as well, it's going to get moving now from the masculine's side. Maybe this is him getting moving on stuff like this as he promised, or as his higher self told us he would be doing. And lastly, for the feminine, boom, this is what you end up with now that he's a grown-ass man, a grown-ass courting man. Hope that you guys enjoy the love reading. I'll be back yet again, I guess after my party. I was thinking, what if I won't drink. After my party, I'll be back with the moon reading, or maybe tomorrow I'll record it. In any case, I'll be back. Namaste, angels.